Good morning, everyone. Today I have Leah Beauchamp with me from the Florey Institute. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well.
Good, good. So, Leah, these interviews are part of a series that we're doing with Florey and about people with Parkinson's disease and research happening in that space. And we always start with the gentle introduction of tell us a bit about yourself.
Great. So obviously my name's Leah. I am a preclinical Parkinson's disease researcher at the Florey Institute. I'm quite junior in my role there. I'm just finishing off my PhD in the next few weeks. And I have been in the field for about 5 years now because I did my master's degree in the field as well. And I really loved it so much that I continued on with my PhD studies.
Fantastic. It must feel very good. So you've submitted your thesis? Is that where you're up to?
4 weeks. So I'm at the very tail end of quite a stressful few weeks.
I can only imagine. Well, congratulations. That's a huge achievement. So tell us a little bit about when you first started working on Parkinson's research. Perhaps that's your master's.
Yeah, so my master's back, about 2014, I think it was. I had come out of my undergraduate studies and I was really interested in neuropharmacology, so drugs that affect the brain. And I had a group of friends who sort of all went off to medical school, and that wasn't really something that appealed to me. So I decided to do a bit of research. I decided a master's degree would be a good experience for me. And I came across a post by Professor Kevin Barnum, and he runs the neurotherapeutics laboratory at the Florey Institute. And he's interested in both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, and he's quite a successful pharmacologist and medicinal chemist, and it kind of drew me in. And the project I picked was so obscure. It was about analysing the sense of smell in a mouse, essentially. And I had no idea how that was related to Parkinson's, but I was eager to learn. Why not? And ever since then, I have just been obsessed with loss of smell in Parkinson's, and it's been something that I've become incredibly passionate about its importance.
Okay, and I believe that's the subject of your PhD. Would you like to tell us a bit more about that?
It is. So I was initially going into Kevin's lab thinking about drug development and how we can get some of these amazing compounds into clinical trials. And it became sort of obvious that we have a few problems in how we approach Parkinson's disease in a research setting. So people often don't present to their GP until they have a tremor. And we know that there's quite substantial damage in the brain by that point. And even then, diagnosis is not 100%. It's very hard for us to diagnose with great accuracy. So I decided that we need to, in order to get our drugs into the clinic and working well, we need to have better ways to identify patients much earlier and with greater accuracy. And we know that about 90% of Parkinson's disease patients lose their sense of smell anywhere from 3 years to 10 years before they get a tremor. And I sort of looked at that objectively and thought, well, what a wonderful opportunity for us to study this symptom and potentially find a new way to identify patients. So my PhD has been on what we can learn about what's happening in the brain that causes a loss of smell and how we can translate that into a clinical diagnostic tool.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, improving diagnosis would definitely improve lives of people with Parkinson's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so what did the research tell us? Did we find a solution?
Not sure about a solution, but we've definitely got some very promising pathways. So I've done a characterization of Parkinson's disease brains that were very kindly donated by patients and their families after they've passed. And I've found some really crucial changes in proteins and in enzymes that we think could be causing this dysfunction in disease. So I've then taken those findings and I've looked for them in animal models, and then I've been able to try and weed down using different therapies which of those pathways might be causing the functional decline in patients. And now we're at a point where we're honing in on these pathways that we think might be causing it, which is good because it means that this potentially is a different pathway to just age-related loss of smell. Our bodies don't hold up well as we age, so a lot of people lose their sense of smell. So what we need is a way to say, no, this person has lost their smell because of a Parkinson's disease change, whereas this person is just from age-related. So I really honed in on the biology of what's happening in the brain in Parkinson's as a way for us to measure and differentiate age-related to Parkinson's loss of smell, hopefully much earlier than a motor symptom appears.
No, that'd be fantastic to find that pathway. Okay then. So what are the next steps for Leah?
So I am obviously finishing off my PhD, which is incredibly exciting. I would like to stay in the field if I can. I am working really hard with Kevin at the moment on screening processes. So how we can develop a bigger picture clinical screen for early Parkinson's disease involving some of my research. So we have quite a small clinical trial at the moment running. I think Dr. Laura Vella spoke about it a bit in her interview last week. So we're doing it in collaboration with her lab, where we are taking, essentially, it sounds awful, I sound like a crazy scientist, we're collecting the snot from Parkinson's patients because we have this incredible pathway of neurons that come directly from the brain into your nose, and we're trying to collect things that those neurons might be releasing, and we're hoping to turn that into a diagnostic tool in the future. So that's my main project for the rest of the year. Is obviously we have a bit of a disruption to research at the moment, but we're hoping to get that back up and running, and really hone in on a nice biological diagnostic tool over the next few weeks, months, years. That's the goal.
No, it's a fantastic goal, and certainly an interesting thing to write in your CV, the collection of things from the nose.
Yes. Something not many people have, I'm afraid.
No, but it does sound really, really interesting. So they're very good next steps, and we wish you all the best with that.
Thank you very much,
Leah. It sounds like really important and interesting work, and so thank you.
Thank you very much.